Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Taylor, and for today's video I'm going through all the books that I plan to read in April / all of the books that I am reading for the Magical Readathon. Magical Readathon goes all through the month of April. I hardly think it needs an introduction because it's pretty well known and well regarded on here. So I'm just gonna dive right in and get started talking about the books that I'm going to read. For my profession, I did choose to be a librarian. I chose librarian for a couple of reasons. First of all, that was a career I kind of considered, you know, in the Muggle world. And secondly, the prompts looked really cool. And then third of all, wizard librarians have it made. Like, that just sounds like such a cool job description. Like, it sounds like National Treasure sort of, you know, shenanigans. So I chose that one, and for that one I do have to sit for the exams for Ancient Runes, Arithmetic, Defense Against the Dark Arts, History of Magic, and Transfiguration. So I chose all huge books because I'm not kind to myself during readathons, apparently. But the first one is Ancient Runes, and that's going to be a retelling, and for that one I'm reading Dracul by Dacher Stoker and J.D. Barker, and this is a retelling of the Dracula myth. Not only is this one a retelling, but it also kind of is meta in the way that it kind of goes into Bram Stoker and his meeting Dracula, and that's why he ended up writing the classic book Dracula. So it kind of deals with that as well as just like a retelling of Dracula, you know, the original vampire. So I have had this one. I bought it around Halloween time, and for some reason I haven't gotten to it. I think I am just a little bit intimidated by the contents of this book because Dracula is, number one of my favorite classics, and so I don't want to like read this and like kind of have it ruined, if that makes sense. And then also just this is also just written in a very classic style of format, and that just intimidates me. I don't know, like bigger books don't really intimidate me, but writing styles definitely do, and just from what I've like seen when looking through this has really intimidated me. But I'm gonna pick it up this month because I just really want to read it. Every single month I think I've looked at it and been like, I should pick that up, so gonna pick it up for my Ancient Runes. The next subject is Arithmetic, and that is read a book by more than one author, and for that one I am going with Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is from my library, so it's a little bit shiny on the cover. Trying to get that for you. Essentially, I feel like this doesn't really need an explanation since it is very popular on BookTube. This is the second book in the Illuminae Chronicles, and what I didn't know about this one is that it looks like it is kind of continuing on with a different cast of characters than who the first book kind of followed, which I'm kind of bummed about because I did really like the characters. Maybe they'll make cameos, I don't know. But essentially this is a sci-fi, and it is told in a mixed media format. So if you really enjoy formats like this is a really great series. It's just a really well done young adult sci-fi that is just really engaging. I know in a lot of mixed media sometimes I feel like you can't really connect to the characters as well. This one I don't really feel that. This one you definitely get like a hold on the characters and who they are, and you root for the characters. So I am excited to read the next book in this series. The next subject is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and that was read a book that starts with the letter R, and for that one I am going with Redwall by Brian Jakes. This is I think it's a middle grade fantasy. Essentially what I would say for this one is think like Lord of the Rings style like quests, but they're all like fuzzy little animals instead. I loved this series as a child, and I own the full series, and it's been a while since I've read any of them, and I just know I'm going to be reading some darker stuff this month and some larger stuff this month, so I really wanted to read one very lighthearted, fun book. So it's essentially about a mouse named Matthias. He lives in Redwall Abbey, and he essentially just has to protect his abbey from Clenny the Scourge and a horde of rats that's coming to try and take over the abbey. So this is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed these as a kid. I really enjoy reading them as an adult too. You know, they're very simple. They're always like good prevails, evil is always going to be defeated if you have enough courage. And this is the nice illustrated edition. It does have like a bunch of fun, beautiful illustrations, that'll just help make this wonderful, lighthearted book for me to read this month. The next book I'm reading is for History of Magic, and that prompt was read a book that was published 10 or more years ago, and for that one I am going with another reread, but I'm reading Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I actually got this for Christmas this year. My boyfriend gets me an original copy of a Stephen King book every single year for Christmas, and it's like, this looks brand new. And I know it's not because it's like a first edition. So it's been sitting my shelves since December, and I've just really wanted to pick it up. It's very creepy, slow burn about a town and vampires kind of take over it. And apparently now that I'm looking at my TBR, I was really into vampires this month because this is the second book that I'm reading about vampire lore, but it's cool. It's a good one. So that's going to be Salem's Lot by Stephen King. And then the final prompt is Transfiguration, and that is read a book with a red cover, and for that one I'm going with Red Clocks by Lenny Zumas. This one has a lot of different shades of red in the cover, so that works for there. It also has red in the title, so 2 for 2. This book is set in a future where abortions are illegal and a criminal act, and even things like in vitro fertilization are banned as well. So this just kind of follows 4 different women navigating through this landscape. It's supposed to be very feministy, very good. So I am looking forward to reading this one. This is a backlog book of the month book that I've also been meaning to read for a while, and since it fit perfectly with this prompt, I decided to give it a go this month. And that's actually going to be just my TBR for the month. I'm combining both of them just because April is Camp NaNoWriMo, and Camp NaNoWriMo is not really like as stressful or as big of a deal as NaNoWriMo in November, but this one I am using it as a chance to really set together a full outline of my novel that I want to write in November. I have the idea, I have the story, everything. So my goal is to write 20,000 words this month, because for Camp Nano you get to pick your own writing goals instead of the 50,000 words for NaNoWriMo. So I am trying to write 20,000 words this month, which is why I don't want to put like another TBR out there. I'm just gonna have that one TBR, but I am trying to write, if scenes come to me, I am gonna write some scenes, but I am going to do a very detailed, very in-depth outline of the book that I want to write. I am very much a planner, and my writing goes a lot better when I plan things out very thoroughly. So I am taking this month as a chance to write just a wonderful, amazing, very detailed outline of my whole entire book. So that's going to be taking up a lot of reading time, and I usually read about 10-ish books in a month. I'm going to guess maybe that these 5 are going to be the only ones I read. Maybe some comics thrown in there. We'll see, because my priority this month is definitely to write a lot. I did set my goal as 20,000 because I didn't want the full pressures of 50,000 words, but I would love to write more than that this month. I'm really excited about the idea that I have, and I keep getting like more good ideas for it, so I definitely want to nail them all down and really focus on that this month. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's gonna be my April TBR as well as my TBR for the Magical Readathon. I'm just combining those 2 this month, and then also Camp NaNoWriMo is going to be taking up a lot of my time, so that's kind of gonna be filling in for the rest of the 5 books on my TBR as usual, because 20,000 words is still a lot of words to write in a month. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, let me know if any of you are doing either the Magical Readathon or Camp Nano this month, and subscribe for more content from me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!